little baby.
Welcome to Conversations with Chai. I'm your host, Ihram Chowdhury, aka Little Baby Ram Ram, and today this man has so many LinkedIn descriptions. I could keep going. He's shot Steve Aoki, shot 50 Cent, shot A Boogie, CEO of Apeiron, has his own podcast, creator, an absolute like young G. I have with me the boy Harshil.
Dude, I never know what to say when people introduce you like that because I don't take compliments very well in the sense of like I kind of just sit there. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. But I appreciate the kind words.
This dude is a young G, like literally runs crazy nightlife events, has his own podcast, like literally one of the hardest working dude, has shot for me, like has done some of the craziest work that I've done, has been a part of it. Dude is just an absolute G, bro.
Dude, I appreciate the kind words. I kind of just sit like a potato anytime I get compliments, but again, appreciate those kind words. And the goal is to keep pushing, right? Strive for greatness. Can't rush greatness though, but you gotta strive for it.
Nah, like, and I know we talked about this like a little off mic, right? I think because of like, and I want to start that conversation there, right? Yeah. I think that when we look at like brown creative, diaspora creative, or just creative as a whole, right? I think that there's segments within segments, right? And there's a segment that we occupy as creatives, and then there's also a segment that we occupy because we're brown creatives.
Exactly. There's a sub-segment underneath that as well. It's more of like a brown creatives who are young, brown creatives who are older, who are in the scene, who are in New York, Jersey, like all those things as well.
And that is the most interesting part of, I think, our relationship and dynamic, and kind of why I wanted to have this conversation, right? Which is that I feel because of like my age and because I've also experienced like the older brown creative, but I'm super tapped in with like y'all, I get a pretty wide look of it. And I think every time I do, I see very stark differences between how business is perceived and how business is operated between creatives, even within a segment.
100%. I think that's a good point you make, because you say we split it into like a situation where it's younger and older, right? Like the younger scene is people like me. There's 50 other people outside of me in Jersey alone, right, that I know close and personal. We operate on the sense of like, yo, hustle, work, just get a bag, get a check, and then, invest that into the next thing and move forward. The older creatives kind of are on not like a slower pace, but more of like a scene where it's like, all right, let's sit down and learn where we could properly invest our time and our money. And I feel like, at least for me, I have a good balance of both. I've realized when to say yes, when to say no. I mean, you've seen me, dude. I've shown up to your things for not much crazy amounts of money, but I'll do it because, it's good vibes. But then I'll also say no to certain things to other people because I know there's like a good balance between, first of all, work life, but also just understanding what's worth it, what's not worth it, and how you could even like send those projects to somebody who's trying to get started. And I think that's super important, and that's what I'm really trying to get into these days as well, just helping the younger people. And I say younger, but people who are trying to get into the scene a little bit more, and who aren't as settled.
Yo, that is like one of my favorite ways to do business, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, because I think you can be a passive participator of your ecosystem, or you can choose to impact that same ecosystem yourself. Like you can choose. It's like this is like, to me, what I really wanted to talk to you. Yo, I had this whole plot and outline for this, but then me and Harshil sat here and we're like, yo, we're just about to talk some shit.
Just yapping, bro.
We were about to talk some shit. There is a huge difference between everybody that has CEO or founder in their Instagram bio and real bosses that impact change, right? Yeah. One of my favorite quotes from a movie is, I don't want to be a product of my environment. I want my environment to be a product of me, right?
Exactly.
And I think that's where I think the way that you do business and the way that I do business is so similar. And I think it's like so fly is because I want to have stakeholders that are people that I fuck with.
Exactly.
At such a high level. If any of my friends are doing anything creative and there's like an opportunity to like work together, I'm gonna just be like, yo, fuck it, do it.
Yeah, 100%. I think like I kind of preach this in all, even just the content I make. It's more of just like you are the niche, right? Like that there's people that follow niches. Oh, I want to be a wedding videographer. I want to be a party promoter. Nah, like you could be all those things all at once, and you could be yourself all at the same time. You are the niche, right? That's the whole point. You want to be the boss. You mentioned earlier, like co-founders and founders, everyone's just throwing that in their fucking bios and pretending like it means something. When in reality, the people who actually move the needle and move the stick are the people who connect with other people who move the needle and move the stick, right? Other co-founders, other founders. You have people like Suv, Sarana, those guys meeting with people like Vedant and all those little connections that kind of move the needle forward. And it's kind of really about connecting all those dots and seeing which sticks kind of stand up and hold some support compared to other sticks.
I think that's like a really interesting part of all this, right? Because like impact is something that like you can't, I think people try to track it through like numbers.
Yeah.
But those are not the numbers that we should be looking at.
Agreed.
There are other numbers that need to be looked at before Instagram follower account and TikTok follower account, right? And this is like a big part of like, I think the conversation that we should be having too, right? Which is like being able to stand up on your own too and have people pay $1 to do something. That is the name of the game.
Exactly.
Right? Like that is the name of the game, right? Because like I see all of these like influencers with 15,000 followers, influencers with 20,000 followers. But if I needed to fill up a spot in Jersey or Philly, I would call Harshil.
Yeah. And I think it comes down to community, right? Like I may not have 40, 50, 60, 70,000 followers. I only got 5K. But that being said, I could fill up a room with 2,000 people in Philly. You know what I mean? I could make these people.
Talk that shit.
You know what I mean? Like if I need to, especially during Halloween, you know, like Halloween, everybody wants to go out. And the only reason that people know of me and my company and my events is because we've developed such a core community, especially in Philadelphia, where it's like you go around, you say the company's name, Apeiron, everybody is going to know what that is, especially in like the college scene, especially in the millennial, maybe under 27 age range. Like everybody knows what it is. And that's because of the community we've built, whether that's through content, whether it's through the podcast, right? That was the whole point of the podcast. Me starting it is to build a community.
Yeah.
And hosting events. We're trying to do a food drive for the community in Philly as well. So just donating food and bringing people out and having a community pop out for that as well. So I think it just boils down really just developing a core group of, you know, like a solid group of like 50 people. Not saying you got to be close to every single person, but just someone where you can go like, yo, that's the guy who does the events, or yo, that's the guy who films and does all these crazy parties and you know, does the stuff with all the celebrities.
I think that is like real impact, right? I noticed that like a lot of the times, right? Like I see who certain people get excited about, and people might be mad that I'm saying this. People be getting excited about this random influencer that they see that got 15K, 20K followers on TikTok or 100K on IG, right? Yeah. But they don't get excited about the motherfucker in the room who's making all of the shit happen around them at the thing that they're at.
Exactly. And I think that it dials down to like, again, like you said, what real impact is, right? You may have an influencer with 1 million followers, not talking shit to any of the influencers here, but, you know, you may have an influencer that has 1 million followers, but first of all, they don't have a good product enough to sell. Number 2, they don't have a strong enough community to sell to. And number 3, it's just like, it's just like a facade type situation where it's like, oh, they're funny. We'll follow. We'll see a couple things. But real impact is somebody who may not have the follower account, but is able to be like, all right, look, I'm doing an event. I'm hosting something. Come out, support me. And people will come out and support you, spend money at the bar, buy a digital product, whether, you know, for my media stuff, whatever it is, they will come and support. And that's real community and real influence.
And I think that's what like I think a lot of brands miss when they're trying to find influencers or they're trying to find people to help push their product, right? Because that is a core part of any business, right? Figuring out marketing, right?
Yep.
But I think that they always think that like, hey, we just need top of funnel awareness, right? Like, yeah, amazing. You have top of funnel awareness. Like we've talked about that on this podcast a lot, right? Like, yo, you have top of funnel. You have people's attention to view something.
Yep.
But what's more important than that is can you get them to that next stage of buy something, show up to something, spend real money, right? Because yes, a influencer with 1 million followers can get you 50,000 eyes.
Yeah.
But how many of those 50,000 eyes are actually going to show up to this random activation that you have going on?
There's 3 types of influencers I've learned, and there's people with just a sheer number of followers. There's people with who are educated in whatever their niche is. Say for example, me, camera guy. All right, cool. I'm promoting a camera product. Why? The people trust me, right? Like they'll buy something. And then there's people with 1 million followers that promote a camera just for the sake of the top of funnel awareness, right? And then there's just funny people who make some skit out of it. Those are the three types of influencers. Most of the time, it's the guy with 5,000 followers, but knows what he's talking about and has a cool, connected fan base and or community.
Real community.
Yes.
This is the most overplayed and oversold product.
Yeah.
Community.
Yeah.
People sell that shit.
Yep.
People sell community, right? And what they don't realize is that like real community is that.
Yeah.
Is I could text the homies and have like 50 of them pull up for me.
Yep.
Like
And
that
it's
is
weird.
real community.
It's weird because like I see this from both point of views, right? From a guy who hosts the events and then a guy who films the events, right? It's like when you host the events, obviously you need a team of promoters. Who are we picking as the promoters? Okay, people who have proper influence, right? We could always freaking pay the dude who has, 100, 200,000 followers, a couple $100 or whatever the fuck it is, their rates are, to post it and promote it and whatever. But if nobody gives a fuck, why is anybody going to come to the event? You know what I mean? Why does it matter? It's all irrelevant. It's all irrelevant. And that's when you get like the micro influencers and the people who know somebody or, oh, like, cool, there's a girl here that knows like 80,000 people, whatever it is, 80 people. Bring them. Like, it's fine. Like, it might not be the same amount of top of funnel reach that we were talking about. But that being said, the 80 people are better than 5 people coming from the top of funnel reach. You know what I mean? So,
and I think that's what's like really like missed, right? Because I'm like, yo, the proof of concept, right?
okay. Yep.
Proof of concept. Can I influence somebody? And I think that's what I'm now starting to build out like these like sponsorship decks just to show, be like, yo, like the brand, no matter what it is, we're still converting into like to talk shit, right? Like we still converting into whatever it is that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Every month I'm picking a different, I want to go do this.
Yep.
We make it happen and it goes off successfully.
100%.
Right? Successfully on a business level. So that should show brand you're throwing a large scale event, basically what, bi-monthly, monthly?
Yeah.
I feel like you have something every like 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You're showing proof of concept of, yo, I can get a large group of people to go move.
Exactly.
Where and what, those are just details that I figure out after, right?
Yeah.
And it pissed me off because I know that older brands should be looking at that as like a real proof of concept and be like, yo, that's where we're going to put the money.
Yep.
And it'll be doing 2 things. It'll be positioning the young creatives that have a real chance at being elite to be that. And you probably going to get more benefit from your company.
Exactly. Event marketing is so lucrative. It's insane. Yo, this camera, right? That's the one that's, all right. Yo, look, we got an event around the late October time. I'm sure you can figure out what event it is. We got 2,000 people coming up. If you're a company looking to make a proper impact and a proper, motion in the Philadelphia, New York scene / Jersey, hit me up, email me, text me, whatever. Yo, I got real motion for you. But anyways, that goes back to your point is, dude, we got, say Halloween, we got 2,000 people coming. That's just the physical presence. Right. And then we're doing the promos with all these college activations and all these, influencers and all these people that genuinely want to come to this event. We oversell, right? We close off tickets. That's how much we sell, to the point where it's like, yo, people are coming to our events at the door, ready to drop $125, $130 just to come to a fucking club party in Philly. That's real. It's happened. I have receipts. So it's like, that's real impact. When you have people ready to pay that much money. And we always say like, no, because we're not, first of all, we feel bad making people spend that much money. Second of all, we're going to over fucking fill the place. But, when you have people to drop that much bread on an event, that's how you know, all right, look, this is a proper, like we're making real impact here. Like whether that's people just having fun, whether that's for a company to get eyes on their product, or whether that's us, which it looks good. You have a fucking room full of people ready to go, or, an investor, an artist, whatever the fuck it is.
Anything like that's what got me real mad, right? That people don't see it, because now you're starting to see all these like bigger brands get into experiential marketing, right? Because like they know that it's a necessity. Like who gives a fuck if you have 100,000 digitally? If you can't get 100 people to buy your product or touch your product, doesn't matter. I'm like, yes, I think about like product placements all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
For alcohol usually.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, yo, yes. Can you go pay X amount to a bunch of influencers? Yes. They might show their unboxing of your fucking product to 100,000 people. Or you could give that same amount, probably significantly less, to somebody like me.
Exactly.
And I will make sure on a random fucking Friday, whatever month you want, 250 people will taste, touch, feel, hear your product.
That's so important too, because it's like when you're seeing it on a phone screen, you're seeing so much shit, dude, on a phone screen all the time.
That shit is not enticing.
Yeah, like I'm tired of it, dude. Like I see Kylie Jenner with 818 and I'm like, oh, whatever. Not saying 818. You know, if you got the bread, let me know. But
always if you got the bread, hit me up, right?
If you got the bread, let me know. I fuck with your tequila. I bought a couple bottles a couple weeks ago. But that being said, right, like you see the social media product placements and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong, it gets eyes on the product. But like you said, it's so important that people touch, taste, feel, and see the product right in front of their hands. And I know, you know, without beating around the bush, I never bought 818 before. That was like 2 weeks ago was my first time. And I'm like, you know what? This is like a pretty good tequila. Like it's decent. It does its job considering the price and whatever and blah, blah, blah. And there's also like a thing of, oh, it's Kylie Jenner's brand. It's probably just all show. But, you know, you taste it and you're like, okay, this is not bad.
But again, feel the product and think about that given night. How many people felt that product? It may have like I think about it, like obviously we're talking about like events and products, right? But I even think about like people.
100%.
Right. I think about like me as a person, right? Like I feel like a big part of my job, and I'm sure you feel the same way, is to be out and be, pause, touch, felt, seen, and heard.
Yo.
Pause. But like, I think that's like a big part of the gig, right?
Yeah.
I think like, yes, and when we talk about community building, I think community leaders have to be somewhat accessible.
100%.
Like they need to be able to see you.
Yep.
They got to feel Harshil in the room, right? Like,
Yep.
cause yo, you could be throwing these events and you have a infrastructure where it's like, you don't really need to be at that event, right?
Yeah.
You could have people run it for you.
Exactly.
But it means something that, yo, I am here.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not even like an ego thing. Like a lot of
No.
a lot of people get it confused as like an ego thing. Oh, you're showing up to these events, you're standing on top of the fucking table, whatever the hell it is, because it's like, oh, it's like an ego trip. Dude, on a real one, I could give less of a fuck about being on the table. I could care less. We get the cool sign. It doesn't even have my name on it half the time. It's just the company name, right?
Bro, people think that shit is fun. People think that shit is like just a look because in their position, it probably would be just for the look. But when I'm up there, I'm stressed. Again, back to what it means to be a boss. We talked about this before. You don't even drink at your events.
Yeah.
I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
It is fun because I am building something and I'm putting something together that I love. I'm building a community that I love, but it's also not fun in the sense of like, this is work.
Yeah, it's stress. Like you see me before an event, especially when there's an artist involved and, you know, whether we got a rapper, DJ, whoever the fuck is coming in, I'm on my phone. Like you could ask any of my friends. I am stressed. I'm sweating. Like I'm running around back and forth between the venues. I swear I lose about 5 pounds every single time because of the amount of sweat that I actually drip. Pause. And it gets real proper and intense. It's work. It's work. Right?
It's work.
Yeah. So as long as you treat it like it's work, and that's with anything you do, whether it's my event stuff or the media stuff that I do, as long as I treat it like it's my work, it won't feel like work because I'm having fun, but I treat it properly. I set the hours aside. I sit in a cafe for multiple hours a day and I sit down, put my headphones on, work. It ends up, you know, working out. That's the whole point, right? So I think it's super important. Again, the community, the making people feel something and actually experience something. And that's what the whole model behind Apeiron is, right? Like we don't want to just throw parties. That's why we've been doing networking events and food drives and these little events in New York and Philly. You know, we're bringing out artists when we don't need to bring out artists. We can make plenty of money without the artist, but we do because it brings a proper show to our things. It's not like just like a money-making scheme where we're throwing a party because it's fun.
Yo, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
A lot of the nightlife, a lot of the events in New York, New Jersey, and Philly are money-making schemes.
Very much
They've
so.
convinced you that it's okay to spend $40 to $50 just to show up to a spot.
Yep.
They are charging y'all cover.
Yep. That's all it is. It's just one big cover. And that's when we try to do something different. We had something on August 30th planned. It just fell through yesterday. But originally we were going to like get a pizza sponsor and give out free pizza. Just simple shit like that. Make people pay what, fucking $15? You're getting 2 slices of pizza and you're getting drinks. Come on, like you can't beat that, especially in New York. So it's like a situation where it's not just a money making scheme. Obviously, we don't want to lose money. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, we want to provide a valuable or even just like an entertaining experience for anybody who attends our events.
No, and I think that that's where like me and my girl talk about this a lot, right? Because
Yeah.
like she's like she says like, yo, one of like my favorite things about you is like your business ethics, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, how do you determine like value, right? And I had to really think about that. I'm like, yo, when does it make sense for me to like rip your eyes out and charge, but like am I providing the value for what I'm ripping out of you, right?
Exactly.
Like I've negotiated like large deals for myself, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, but is it fair?
Yeah.
Like, are you getting the value that you are paying for, right?
100%.
Because if you're not, then you're going to feel shorted, right?
Yeah.
And that goes for whether you're an end consumer,
Yep.
whether you're another business. If you feel like, hey, I paid $50, but I got $50 worth of fun,
Mm-hmm.
that's a working relationship because I provided a value, 50 units of fun.
Yep.
You provided monetary funds, right?
Yeah.
I think that that's fair. I think when it's, yo, we're just going to charge you 35 because we can, right?
Because it's quote unquote New York. People make money quote unquote in New York. So
It's like, I need to do this.
Yeah.
Like once I saw it, like I think once I got into like events and I saw the money behind it and I saw like how people were ripping people.
Yep.
I'm like, yo, some of this is like, you're saying that this is for the community. Back to like, yo, you're selling community. You're saying that this is for the community. You do not, this was not $6,000 worth of work.
Exactly.
Right?
100%.
This was not $6,000 worth of value.
Yeah.
You're just ripping $6,000 off of community.
Exactly. And I think people use that term community very, very, very like loosely. It's like we're developing a community. Okay, what the fuck does that mean? For us, that means podcasts. For us, that means giving people the light that they don't usually get, right? These venue owners, these DJs, these people that quote unquote get the spotlight, especially like a DJ, right? He gets the spotlight and filming, but people just hear his music. They don't know what the fuck he's thinking. They don't know him as a person,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we give them an opportunity. We give the ticketing platforms an opportunity to kind of give their say. We give ourselves an opportunity to kind of not defend ourselves, but just be like, yo, this is why we're doing what we're doing. This is why we feel like it's justified for making you spend $15 to $25 on our event to come and have fun and enjoy, right? So it's more of a situation where we really position ourselves to not dude, we've said no to so many opportunities on making money. We had an opportunity with an artist in Philly that would have made us a stupid bag. Like I'm talking easily 6 figures in like a couple of days. Easily. We said no. Why? Because there was no community behind it. It was just like we're ripping off these college kids because they want to see this one particular person and they're charging an X amount of money and they will get that X amount of money from people. And we said no because it wasn't morally right for us.
Morally right. And it's also like, yo, I think it's just straight up also just bad business, right?
100%.
Like that's a one-time lick.
Yep.
That's like saying that like, yo, yes, it could have been a 6-figure check, right?
Yeah.
That's a one-time 6-figure check for you. You are going to make so many 6-figure checks because you say no to bad 6-figure checks, right? Like that's the part that people don't realize, right? Like it's like, yo, if I rip my community, that's a one-time repeatable trick, 2 times max.
Exactly.
After the 3rd time, people are going to be like, all right, like we clocked what you be doing, right?
Yeah.
And you see that. That's why I think that hospitality, podcasts, like people have short runs.
Yep.
Not because they're not talented or not because they can't build. It's because they rip through what they're trying to do.
Exactly. And I think even with our podcast, like with the Apeiron stuff, like we don't make money off the podcast. We just do it because it's fun. It's fun. We shed light on things that a lot of people don't get to see. We give an opportunity for people to kind of show who they are as a human being. And again, that just ties into the whole community thing, right? Like we want to show these people who these DJs are. We want to show these people what these ticketing platforms do. We want to show these people who's behind the company that you're paying the money for. You know what I mean? Like who are the personalities? Oh, is HT the guy who fucking posts all these celebrities and whatever on his Instagram? Is he a dickhead? Oh, I'm just a normal dude. Like, you know, I just show up. I fucking pick up my parents from a engagement party yesterday. That's what I do. You know what I mean? Like,
again, people really think it's about like your ego, right? And I'm like, yo, this shit is like hard. It's like work, right?
Yeah.
Like I've been having these like thoughts and crises because I'm like, damn, away from the work, my life is good. Like, beautiful girlfriend that I love, right? Family good, right? Family healthy, right? This shit, like doing this, like doing the podcast, right? For example, people think like, oh, like this is just for like ego or so I can just talk on a mic, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, you know how expensive, like this shit is like a full labor of love.
Yeah.
Right? Full labor of love. Like it's so we can have these conversations because I feel like, what community mean to me is that hopefully we can, some young person listening right now sees like, yo, like there's these motherfuckers also exist. Because I remember when I was coming up, right? And I'm sure you feel the same way even now. You look around and you're like, yo, these people not like me.
Yep.
Like these people not like me and I'm not like them. And you see that and you're like, okay, like, damn, does that mean I can't? Some of us are brave enough. Some of us are like, yo, these people aren't like me, but I'm gonna still build my own thing.
Yeah.
That is my brand identity. That is my niche, right? But it's definitely helpful to see somebody at least be in the realm of it. So, you know, like, yo, I could be like this and exist.
And that's my whole goal. Like the overall goal is to inspire like somebody to chase their dream or somebody to really push for what they want to do. I know so many people, I'm sure you could attest to this, who, you know, especially being like a recent grad, it's like people hate their fucking jobs. They hate their jobs. They hate what they're doing. Makes them a bag, cool, but are they happy? Not at all. And it's like I've seen so many people go through that. And I tell so many people, yo, this is the opportunity for you to, like, if you want to fuck up, this is the opportunity to fuck up. This is your chance, especially in my age range. That under 25, 26 age range is like where you could kind of fuck up. As soon as you're off that parents insurance, that's when shit gets a little real. But when you're my age, 22, bro, like this is the time to chase what you want to chase.
Nah,
And
absolutely.
and I think it's so important because I wish the younger version of me had someone like me to look up to, in the sense of not like I'm so cool, I'm such a cool guy, I'm not, I know everything. In the sense of like, I wish I had a guiding figure when I was 18, when I was 17, like, oh, this guy's doing the proper thing. Let me reach out to him. I wish I had somebody like that, because now I get hit up all the time. Like, if you look through my DMs, it's just people like, hey, like, how much do you charge for this? What, need some help on camera stuff. And don't get me wrong, I'm not the fucking guru of all things cameras and nightlife, and I don't know everything. But that being said, I could provide like a good stepping stone for people who are just getting started. And
Bro, just being available.
exactly. And I
Being
think
available and being visible.
exactly. And there's a way I think about it, right? Like, if you look at knowledge and education on a scale of 0 to 10, right? There's people who are tens in what they do. They know everything, educated, they're fucking old, they've been in the game for mad long. I would consider myself, at least in like the media space, like a 7, like a 6, like a 5 to a 7, somewhere around that range, whatever the fuck it is. I could teach the 1, 2, 3s, and 4s. You know what I mean? It may not be like groundbreaking. Oh, you got to use this camera or this red camera, RE, whatever the fuck, like I may not know all the production stuff behind everything. But that being said, I know how to get started and how to make a personal brand. And I know how to get your name across in a community and throw events and bring people out. And I know how to do that. Negotiate venue deals. I know how to do that. That's something that I could teach the 1, 2, 3s, and 4s who are trying to get into the game. And that's really important. That goes, again, everything just ties back into the community aspect of things. And then I always have room to learn from the 7, 8, 9s, and 10s. And that's when I absorb more stuff and I eventually become one of those people. And it's kind of like a domino effect, one after the other.
No, absolutely. I think that's where it's tough, because you also have to be able to identify mentorship in that and accept. Sometimes, like, I remember I was like, damn, like there's very specific people I would like to be mentored from.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not even there to be mentored by them, right? Like they're talking to the 8s, 9s, and 10s, right?
Yeah.
Like but I gotta be happy and look at some of my mentorship and be like, what can I learn from you? Like, this is not where I want to be forever, but this is where you already are. So if I could get there, then I can find another mentor because I've had to do that in my like career, right?
Yeah.
Like I've had mentors when I was first starting off and like doing media, where it's like, okay, look, this is what you do, this is what you learn, this is how you do things. And then I had to look at some of my mentors and be like, but this is where you stopped.
Yeah.
Now I got to go get mentorship from another person in that space that is an 8, 9, or 10 in that field.
And it's crazy because, some of my biggest mentors are Sharad, Saad. Like they know, they put their skin in the game for so long, dude, and they know what the fuck they're talking about. That being said, I had Sharad call me one time and be like, yo, like, what's your theory and what's your thought process on long form content and all this shit? Because he knows, that's something he could learn from me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people hire me in the first place, right? Because they know I know how to do my shit. And fine, I may not be the best video editor in the world or the best cameraman in the world. I know that I'm not. I'm good, but I'm not the greatest. And I know that. But that being said, I know how to implement the things that I've done and implement into other brands, other companies, my own personal brand with Apeiron, and just my own personal brand with the media stuff, right? With the social media stuff. So I think it's super important to be like, have humility in the sense of like, you're ready to learn at all times, but then be confident enough in what you're teaching to other people as well, right? So it's kind of finding that balance of like, okay, I'm educating myself, but enough confidence where it's like, all right, like, let me show you something, right? So
But it's like build again, like back to proof of concept, right? It's being able to build a book of work that you're proud of, and then be able to look at that book of work as validation for everything that you've accomplished, right? Like I have like, whether it's you, whether it's like, I'm like, yo, you should be looking at all of the events that you've hosted and everything that you've done as validation for like, yo, the next thing is just another thing that I will do.
Exactly.
Like
I'm learning from mistakes as well. Like
I'm getting sharper, right? Like I'm not getting worse at this, right? Like I'm getting sharper, right? Like I'm going through, like I'm getting better, right? Which is the point, because that means that on a continuing trajectory, you will always get to whatever that next thing is. Like I'm like, yo, everybody who thinks that everybody who's done something is somebody so crazy, 9 out of 10 times they not.
Yep.
Like don't get me wrong, there's the killers.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's the killers that you see and you're like, what the fuck? Right? But 90% of the field is just some guy or some girl that just decided to do whatever thing and just like be loud enough to go do that thing.
Be loud enough to do that thing and be ready to accept mistakes and like learning from those mistakes and then building upon those mistakes to make the next thing the better thing. You know what I mean? So I think that's really important, especially in like social media. You see it all the time. Like, you know, you have people that assume that every video has to be a hit. Every video has to have 200, 300,000 views. Bro, I'm posting a video like half the time. If it gets 5K, 6K views, I'm happy. But, you know, because at the end of the day, like I'm still getting, that's 5,000 people looking at my video that they didn't need to watch. You know what I mean?
People always like flex like it's so funny. Like this is like, I'm gonna talk shit a little bit, right?
Go for it. I'll join.
This is like the funniest shit that people do. They boast the one clip that they posted that did like 500K, but then they forget to mention to their partners or their audience that that's the one video you posted in the last 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
You know how many, like, yeah, sure, I didn't get a 500K, but you know how many 50Ks, 30Ks I've been doing while you've been planting and plotting on this one that did 500?
I think that's where, like, one of my biggest videos is with DJ Aura Kush. It's the Not Like Us remix. And it got like 2-3 million views over all platforms. And bro, I've seen it get played in like Paris. It's insane. But then again, like, that's where it comes in. It's like, I told him, I'm like, yo, double down. This is your time to fucking take this motion you got and dump fucking fire, like, you know, like oil in the flames and go crazy with it. Post every day. Post educational stuff. Post a mix. Whatever the fuck it is. Post something. And that's when even me, like, I started doubling down. I was just the guy in the back fucking dancing. I filmed the thing. I didn't really have much impact outside of filming. But that being said, for him, it turned into actual proper leads and proper, oh, come DJ my wedding. Now he works for Sherrod. You know what I mean? Like, it was one after the other, after the other, after the other. And that's when the motion came through. A lot of people, again, like you said, they see 500K. Fuck, all right, I'm retired now. I can retire. I'm good. Nah, bro. Like, this is the time to double down, to post more. Don't get discouraged if a video doesn't hit that 500K number. If your fucking next video gets 300 views, don't get discouraged. Keep fucking going.
Yo, I just stopped paying attention.
Yeah.
I have so much content out that I can't even pay attention to what number. If you ask me what my last like 4 videos did, I could not tell you, right? Yeah. And people think like, oh, like that, why you don't care about the content? I was like, yo, I just got to keep, like, that's a process thing.
That's the game. That's the game.
That's a process thing, right?
That's the game.
Everything else, right? The businesses that take active work. Not that this don't, but this is a process thing. Like, I have the systems and process where, like, yo, regardless of what I'm doing, everything, and I think I've obviously noticed this about you too, right? Everything is a content play.
100%.
All of the live events, everything, like, have you ever done anything that doesn't have content around it?
No.
No, because that part of the business is systemized. That's like a given.
Yeah.
Like, that's like a given, right? So I'm like, yo, I don't need to worry about like, oh, is this clip going to do? I'm like, yo, I'm going to get like 10 at-bats in the next 10 days just because content pipeline. That's just a given.
The name of the game is in this social media thing is consistency, right? Like, everybody always preaches it and everybody always says everything about consistency, or you gotta be consistent. But how do you be consistent? All right, cool. Post every day, post every other day, post once a week. But as long as you like have enough kind of, not enough, but rather you find the balance of what works for you, but then also works for the business / whatever you're trying to push, that's fine. For me, it was posting 100 days every single day. I mean, I stopped at 85, but I got to 85. I was posting something every single day. And it wasn't no like me phone right in front. It was like a proper edited video where I was going. And even if it wasn't a proper edited video, I still had something out there.
And I want to cycle back to what you said at the top of this pod, right? Which is like, it is this young generation of just like speed.
Yeah.
Like I see people in like our niche and I'm like, yo, you're just not fast enough, right? Like the world is at a fast place. And I'm 100% for like sitting in a pocket and developing art, right? But you also have to be able to do that at a consistent, fast level, right? Because this game like is treacherous, right? Like I have people that have opportunities and they sit on that one opportunity for like 3 months.
Yep.
And I'm like, yo, in that span, like I've put out 100 more pieces of content than you. I've done 15 more events than you at a better scale just because we are moving fast, right? And like it's tough. Like I know me and you, like when we text, I was having this conversation with somebody on a frequency of just speed of communication.
Oh yeah.
I see a difference. It's like, yo, why am I emailing this brand and it take 4 days to get a reply where I can just text the founder or text the homie that is a founder and be like, yo, can we make this happen in the next year? Yada, yada, yada. Done. Easy.
Instant. And I think there's especially in the video photo space, you see people following the art trajectory and then you see people following the business social media trajectory. I'm very much in that business social media trajectory. Don't get me wrong. I see the art. It's cool. But yo, at the end of the day, if you want to make this a legit thing, you got to see the business side of things. You got to be right, like fast right away. Like, dude, I think you saw my story. I posted a story the other day. I had 9 gigs in 3 days. I made six grand plus in a couple hours of work. Just like that. Easy. Because why?
How much is that? $6,000 in 9 days?
No, 6 grand in 3 days. 6 grand in 3 days. Just because,
yeah, talk that shit,
bro.
Yo,
it's not even that.
Talk that shit.
It's more of a situation where it's like, all right, cool. Like, I have a gig. What do I got to do? Get the photos out the next day. Cool, bro. If you like, I have 2 of my good friends. Kush, one of them, and then Bhavin is another one. He's a content creator. He does all these things, and we did a gig together. They're both in DJing and media. I literally got home from that gig at like midnight, and I just sat and edited the pictures, got them out the same night. 3-hour delivery time. 3-hour delivery time. And then they were like, oh, wow. Like I sent Bob in the link. He was like, what the fuck? Same thing with, I had a gig in New York, literally on Saturday. Got him done the next morning.
But that's what's important, right? Like that's what's
so
important. That's what's important. That's the same reason that like if I knew, there's a reason that like on like the biggest things, whether it's like the Brooklyn Mirage doc, whether it's like something that I know that I need to put, that's why Harshil get hired.
Yep.
That's why, because I know that like no matter what, if I tell him, yo, I need it by tomorrow, it's gonna happen, right?
Happen.
And like I think that is like a big business trust thing, right? That you've developed just through, again, proof of work, right?
That's why these companies hire me. That's why I have retainers, right? Like these retainers work just because they trust, first of all, my vision. Number one. Number two, they know I'm going to deliver a quality product. Number three, they know it's going to be it's not going to be 8 weeks till they get a first draft. You know what I mean? It's going to be a solid 1 week, 2 weeks max if they're really pushing it, especially on something that's really, really a little more, thoughtful and a little, you got to think a little bit more into it. But if it's like, like I'm at a wedding and the DJ wants a video, dog, I'm getting that done within 2-3 days max.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, then you get the momentum of the wedding as well. Then you get the family members posting the videos. You get the actual couple reposting it. It's like a whole snowball effect. And then you get more clients just because you finished that video so fast. It's like, oh, this couple wants their you for their stuff. So it's like a one after the other. And then, luckily my communities are very tight knit where it's like, the DJs know everybody, the video people know everybody, the hosts know everybody, the venues know everybody. It's like one big snowball effect, and I've kind of developed a reputation, at least in my industry, where it's like, all right, this guy knows what he's doing. He may not be the craziest person in the world. He may not know the most technical things, but that being said, he gets that shit done and done right. So
yeah, that'll get you far. Just
100%.
Being the guy who could just get shit done, that is half of the game,
That's
right?
half of the game, bro.
Yo, I got a couple segments for you.
Yeah, talk to me.
So we're gonna do boss moves, quick fire, Q&A.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go through some rapid fire questions.
Fire.
First thoughts that come to your head. All right, go. One skill every creative should master.
Consistency and properly doing it on a consistent basis, and also finding the balance between consistency and burnout. So I think that's like a goal, and I've burnt out so many times, and I've realized like, yo, I gotta just like tone it down a bit and find it.
Dumbest way you spent a check.
Bottles.
What's the worst bottle check?
Dude, oh my God. I remember Halloween. I spent like $4.5 grand on like a 1.75 liter thing of Don Julio. And it was just like, I literally remember after the event, I was like, what the fuck? And it was on my personal credit card too. And I was like, oh.
Those are the worst.
Dude, and then I had to pay the bill. I was like, oh shit. It hit real hard.
Biggest red flag in a collaborator.
Ooh, when they're not open to like discussing how you conduct your kind of content plans, in the sense of like, if a brand is hitting you up for a promo piece, that ties into the community thing again, where it's like, all right, how do you portray yourself to the community? Is it just like are you just collecting a bag, or are you like influencing your people in a certain way that people can see? Like if a company comes to me and is like, yo, can you promote this product? I'm not just gonna be like, yo, buy this product, X, Y, and Z. I would implement it in the way that I would do my stuff.
That's such a blessing, bro. Yo, shout out to all my partners that just let me do whatever the fuck. Like, I be hitting, like, shout out to Parit and Vishal from Jungly, right?
Yeah.
The House of Cha guys, Manita and Hockey, right? Because, yo, I just come to them with, like, the craziest, like, yo, I'm about to do this random piece of content. They don't even ask me what the content, like, is about to look like. They just trust that, if I'm doing it, it probably means something,
That's
right?
gold. That's so gold. And I think that's super important with anybody trying to get into the product scene. So 100%.
Amazing. Boss move you learned the hard way.
Boss move I learned the hard way. Fuck. That I gotta learn how to like not be egotistical, but like, kind of understand that, I'm the guy. Like, I'm the guy that's running the show. I can't be reserved. I can't hold back. If there's an artist coming in, I can't be scared to talk to the managers. I can't be scared to talk to the artist. I gotta have enough balls where it's like, yo, I'm the dude you're talking to. You've been talking to this whole time. And I learned the hard way because I used to not be that guy. So,
Bro, you set the price.
Yeah.
You set the price on the way that people deal with you, right?
100%.
Like you set the price on how they deal with you, how you feel when you walk into a room.
It's all about how you move.
Yeah.
You want to be the guy that like you walk in and everyone's like, yo, like that's the dude.
Yeah, right? Like, and also like building that through just like consistent like respect. Like, I think a lot of people think that that's like machismo or ego or whatever, right? But it really is just like carrying yourself with like a certain level of respect and respecting others, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, like you would be a dickhead to be like disrespectful towards me.
Exactly.
Like, that's how I truly feel, right? Like,
Exactly.
it's like, yo, I'm like so just like, I shake every single hand, right? Like I say, yo, what's good to everybody. I'm polite, right? Like I say, excuse me at every little thing. Like, if you are going to respect me, right? Because you know that I'm carrying a very respectful energy in this room, right?
Exactly. There's a difference between ego and respect, and I think there's a very thin line as well. But as long as you're on that respect side, and the more of the thing where it's like people, I got told the other day that like, you put me in a room with all these big people, I'm not going to name names, but I could hold my own. And that was one of my biggest like compliments I ever received. Because I was like, damn, like I'm 22 and these guys are like 50, and the fact that somebody is able to say like, you can hold your own in that room, that meant a lot. And again, that's all dials down to respect.
I think that's like a real, like, I think end of the day, like we're all humans, right? But like being able to look at somebody, like whoever you think it is, right? Like, it's like, yo, like you just have to treat them as like a real human that you would like, and you can't fake that.
Yep.
Like, if you disrespectful to regular people walking down the street, you're probably going to be not so good at being respectful to the person that you actually want to impress in that room, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't treat, if it's a podcast, whether it's you, whether it's Namesh, whether it's Virdas, like it doesn't matter to me, right? Like, everybody is getting the same respect and energy and professionalism from me because that's the job.
What's the saying? It's like about the janitor, like treat the janitor with the same amount of respect as you would the CEO, something like that, right?
Yeah.
That's I like to believe that I stay true to that. So, that's something that's very important to me and just my morals in general.
Amazing. Yo, okay, so we're going to do overrated, underrated, perfectly rated. Okay?
Should I provide an explanation or should I just get right into it?
Nah, just if I need the explanation, because some of them I feel like I'll know why, right?
All right,
All right. Overrated, underrated, perfectly rated. Follower count.
Overrated. So fucking overrated. It's so fucking overrated. I could go on a whole tangent about this, but again, I guess we already did, right?
Yeah.
It's like there's no impact
It don't
half
mean
the time.
shit. It don't mean shit. Sponsorship decks.
Perfectly overrated or perfectly rated in the sense that like they kind of give the brand a proper vision of what you're looking for in a quick way. So I think they're perfectly rated.
Club appearances for networking purposes.
Oh, in terms of like what, going to the club and just talking to people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I do.
Perfectly rated.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, I'm fucking underrated, dude.
I think underrated.
Yeah, like I go to I was in Miami with one of my former business partners, and I was drunk, right? Did I talk to a single woman? Not at all. What did I do? What did I do? This is a true story, by the way.
I believe it.
I will tell you because I can literally text a guy. So I'm walking around drunk out of my mind. And mind you, I'm just there for fun and vacation. I'm shaking everybody's hand. Yo, like, what do you like? What's up? Like, what do you do? Where are you from? You know, like you dress nice. I like your shoes. That's the key, by the way. You got to compliment them first.
Yeah.
You gotta be, yo, like I fuck with your hat. This is a true story. I fuck with your hat. And we go into the thing. Lo and behold, I find out the dude's actually from Philly. So that, you know,
Immediate
connection right there. I'm like, oh, Philly, like where, you know, you went to school there? He goes, yeah, Temple University. I go, oh, this is where we go. Long story short, I end up being boys with the guy. I set my other boy up with a job because of the dude I met at the club. And this guy ended up coming to my event 2 weeks ago in New York because he was like, yo, I'm in town.
I knew you was like that because like this is what I mean by Harshil don't stop working, right? It's 4:15 at the Brooklyn Mirage after Indo, right? And you would think like, yo, we just worked, like we had fun, we worked, right? Yo, at 4, Harshil's going around introing me to like, yo, come say hi to Mickey Singh. Yo, come say hi to Toucher. Like, yo, like I'm like, yo, this motherfucker is still working at 4:15. But again, that is what it is.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't know the types of conversations that you have at that.
What's the meme? It's like you think your boyfriend's cheating on you. In reality, he's just like talking to a whole bunch of other dudes trying to make a connection. That's literally I'm that meme. I am that meme.
Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. Exposure instead of payment. Overrated, underrated, or perfectly rated?
It depends. I feel like on what stage you are in your career. If you're just getting started, I think it's underrated. Because it's like, that's how I started. I didn't get paid for half the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, yo, I'm going to take this opportunity, whatever opportunity I get, I'm going to capitalize it and I'm going to make it on whatever, you know, make a piece of content out of it, you know, X, Y, and Z. But once you're making the bag, it's a little overrated. Yeah, it's a little overrated.
Bottle service?
Underrated.
Is it underrated?
Underrated.
That's a business decision. Yo, Harshil's lying. He's like, yo, buy bottles at my next event.
Underrated. It's a marketing opportunity. Think of it that way, right? Like if you're a business, this is a real thought process we have, by the way, at Apeiron. Whenever we have to buy bottles for something, whether we didn't make the bar minimum or whatever, or just we want to buy for fun, we have the sign say whatever we're trying to promote at that time. So we could use it for content. We could use it for videos. We could use it for all that. So in terms of a business, underrated. In terms of you're an average human being, perfectly rated because you can have fun.
That is true.
Yeah.
As a business, that's actually real smart because like you have to think that like you're at least about to get 15 people just to put it on their IG.
Dude,
that like,
more than 15. If you're in a prime spot in the club, everybody's fucking posting that shit.
Yeah. Especially if you make it creative and good.
Exactly. And you know, you say you spend a good amount of money, you're gonna get a lot of sparklers and shit coming out. Everyone's eyes are at you. It's the whole point. Like, it's funny. I was filming Playboy Cardi in Philly the other week, and one of the main sections bought a sign that said buy. It was a crypto. I'm not gonna say it, but it was a crypto. And I just took a picture. I was like, yo, maybe this could be a potential connection here. So I took a picture of their sign just so I could reference it later. And lo and behold, yeah, they're a big crypto thing. And I reached out to the founders. So yeah, it's marketing. That's how I found them, through the fucking bottle sign.
That's one way to experiential market, right?
So
like,
yeah, and you could obviously get the stupid signs and say some crazy shit. But if you're real smart with it, and if you're a business especially, there's ways to go about it for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, like people are doing it in such creative ways. This is not a great way to do it, but like even I heard you saw that the WNBA?
Yeah.
The dildo thing for like a random coin. I'm like, yo, listen, morally horrible business.
Yeah.
They're going to make bread.
That top of the funnel exposure was there. So they did his job.
All right. Your most unpopular opinion, and this one we will need an explanation. So your hottest take.
I don't really have that many hot takes, to be honest. I think I prefer Philly over New York 100 times out of 100.
That's insane.
Yeah, and let me tell you why. Philly, I feel like, is a perfect balance between like a city and a place where you can chill. And I think it's a situation where, you know, if you want to party, if you want to have fun, there's a great bar scene in Philly. There's a great club scene.
Yo, you're
in Philly.
such a Burb Jersey kid.
Bro.
Yo, you're such a Burb Jersey kid. Like, listen, I get it because I feel the same way, right?
Yeah.
Like, think about it. That's why I moved to Brooklyn because I was like, oh, I need grass and then the sky and like whatever. But like, just, yo, that's not a.
I will say in terms of culture and community and stuff, New York might have the upper edge. But if you want just straight, like, here's the thing about Philly, right, dude? You just show up, you go outside. First of all, you're not going to get bombarded with 50 people at your face ready to fucking talk shit if they want to talk shit. You can get that if you want. There's parts of Philly. But I feel like in Philly, there's a good balance between, you know, like hustle and bustle. First of all, the city just loves itself. Philly, like Philly, you go in Philly anywhere, go Birds. You hear that shit everywhere. You know, Philly loves Philly. Obviously, New Yorkers love New York, but I feel like there's always like, I always see that New Yorker like, I fucking hate New York, but I still live here. Why? Because it's New York. All right, cool. You know,
that's how you market against all the people moving into the city. Bro.
Exactly.
You just say that you hate it and you complain, right?
Exactly. But yeah, Philly over New York in the sense of like you can find that good balance, and there's so many nice neighborhoods in Philly. Like,
I know you do a lot of work out there, but like to me, and maybe I'm unfamiliar, right? Which could 100% be true. Like, I just think that there's such like a creative energy in New York that is like unmatched. Like, I know that like if I walk down the street right now, like the other day, I'm like outside smoking a J, and like my neighbors just like walk by. Turns out like sold a company, all of that shit, right? Like, just cool. And I'm like, I don't know if that's just happening from a creative level in Philly. Like, I don't know about a creative.
No, I 100% agree with you. That's where even Jersey lacks, right? Like, I'm from Jersey. Like, I live in Jersey. But in Jersey, that's a very true case as well. A situation where it's like, you know, you don't get that opportunity. You walking down the street, you meet somebody cool in Philly. But that being said, there's places and things you can go to find those opportunities. It's just not as readily available as New York.
No, that's fire. Like, I think that, and I know when we first met, I was really trying to get you to come out to New York because
Dude,
like,
you were
I know that
fiending for that.
I was because like, yo, like Harshil is such like an important part of the ecosystem, and I think that in New York, we would selfishly would benefit so heavily from having you move around here. I know you are, right? But obviously like Philly ends up being the priority because that's like the primary market. Yeah. But I know just like the events that you could get off here, like a lot of times I'm just like, yo, like a lot of like the bigger festivals that I would like to see and like things, like it'll require somebody who's able to do the event thing at such a high level, a little bit larger, right? Because a couple people have tried to get things off in New York, which I'm like, oh, this would be a cool festival, but it just never reaches that.
Reaches the pinnacle 100%.
And I know that you could, whether it's, you know, in the near future, I know you could get that off here.
Yeah. I think it will happen though, eventually.
I do think it will happen. Like that to me is like it's an inevitability. Like you're seeing it in like different markets in like London, you're seeing it pop up in other places. So I'm so hopeful that New York will do it at a real big high level. Yeah. But you know, I know you being in New York would definitely expedite that timeline.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, luckily I'm in Jersey. Like by car, it's only 30 minutes without traffic. So it's not too bad.
Yeah, but it's your focus, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like I like if you just tapped into just, yo, I'm about to do a sprint of New York shit. Yeah. Right? Like I know that you would just move it, right? But I know like obviously you gotta give love to your original market. Like
also, what time is it?
We wrapping. Yo, 5:56.
Okay.
You're vision this shit, right?
Yeah, I'm just making sure I don't miss my train.
No. We end every episode with a segment called Call Your Shot.
Okay.
So it's my idea of like, yo, something in the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, something that you will make happen. The idea being when you go do it, we do the content thing. I'm gonna clip this shit up, send it to you, post it, do all of that. So Harshil, call your shot.
Yo, in the first of all, I'll go from year by year. For next year, I want to first of all move out. Like, you know, nothing against my parents. I love my parents, but I think I'm at a position now where I'm making a good amount of money at the age I'm at where I can properly move out, you know, develop, you know, maybe it's New York, maybe it's Philly, maybe it's somewhere in Jersey, whatever the fuck it is. I want to move out and I want to kind of make my own space like it was in college. In college, it was, you know, I had fucking the college scene by the balls. Like it was good. In the next 5 years, I want to develop a concert festival with Apeiron. that's the goal, and I think it will happen. We're making small moves this year in terms of making a concert happen in Jersey, and I think it will happen. 10 years, dude, I want to make a proper like Lollapalooza, Rolling Loud. I want to have a whole, that's on the appearance side of things. On the media side of things, I want to have a team of 100 people where I can manage, and I'm not going out and filming anymore, which I'd love to, but where I could hit up somebody and be like, yo, take care of this, go fly here, handle it. And I'm already doing that on a very small scale with like, 10 to 20 people, but make it like a proper conglomerate and really scale to a new level where we're going overseas and where we're going across the country to film some shit, film documentaries, stuff like that. So there's definitely ways to scale it. Owning venues is another one too. 5-10 years, I think it can happen. Maybe even less than that, depending on where everything goes. And the goal with Apeiron in the next 5-10 years outside of hosting the festivals is to really build, again, back to the community thing. Like somebody says Apeiron, oh, it's like a Rolling Loud. People know what that is. Apeiron event. Okay, cool. We're going to this. It's like a household name. We want that to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. And I think it's very much possible. The potential is really high, especially in the way we're taking it. So that's definitely, that's my shot, yo. That's my shot.
Yo,
I think it will happen, by the way.
it will happen, bro. Absolutely. I have no doubt in you, bro. Yo, appreciate you doing this.
100%.
I hope we drop some gems, yo. Thank
Yeah.
you for listening. Peace.
Yes, sir, bro. Good vibes, good money, big check, small team.